Good morning and welcome back to the Morning Commute with Hopi living in the city. I hope you are well. Thank you for tuning in to our channel. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning and it's 53 degrees outside. So we are headed into Central Phoenix. So let's just take a look and see what traffic's like. I had a half a cup of Joe earlier and I didn't bring my thermos. I thought maybe I'll just pick something up somewhere or just leave it at the half cup for the day. I didn't bring any lunch or breakfast, so I'll probably have to pick something up. And I hope you all had a great 3-day weekend. The missus and I actually had a 4-day weekend, so we spent some time up home to see our friends and family. It was nice. I got to see my mom and my dad, and it was good. We had dinner with my dad on Friday night. We had some of the famous mustard breaded pork chops. So yeah, let's see what's going on in the news today.
We felt that we something that we needed to do, and for anyone who is undocumented, this is just a very, very difficult situation, and we are really living in fear. And we tried to explain and go through this with the kids, but the youngest one, of course, doesn't really understand. They can't really process the information. And of course, the decision still remains is if something did happen, would they then make a decision to have the child stay here in the United States more permanently, or would they have that standby guardian actually ensure that the child made its way back to El Salvador with the parents?
This administration says, well, people that are here without documents, they shouldn't be here. Yo explico esa parte en el que
In our countries, there's really no future, there's no work. We come here, and the work that we do, we're able to survive. What people need to understand is that we do the most difficult and heavy, weighty type of work. And without documents, it's true that sometimes we're discriminated against.
How has your life changed in the last few weeks since ICE raids began? El impacto ha sido grande.
It's had a massive effect on me because, I just can't go out the same way I used to. I used to go out whenever I wanted, and it's had an impact on my health.
En la actualidad, es mi hija.
So, for example, she gives a list to her second daughter, her 18-year-old daughter, for her to actually go to the store. She gives her a list, and her daughter goes to the grocery store and buys everything that's actually needed. She's too scared to actually do that.
And it's impacted your health? Hay noches que yo no puedo dormir.
There are nights when I can't sleep.
Yo nunca he
I've never really suffered from migraines or headaches, but literally I wake up every morning and I have a headache and my head is just hurting all the time.
Siempre estoy
I pray every day. I have a lot of faith, and I try not to be too worried, but I can't avoid it.
Anna does seasonal work remotely so she can care for the children. Her husband is in construction, but he's downsized to smaller projects, she says, afraid a big crew would attract the attention of immigration agents. They work, she says neither have ever committed a crime. The senior priest at this church, Father Vidal Rivas, says he's making sure people in his community know their rights like Anna, and that includes the standby guardianship program.
Nosotros como iglesia, we as a church, we encourage our members to do something that will protect them and safeguard their children. We don't ask them about their status. Instead, we invite them to fill out these forms because we know that the president can, with a stroke of the pen, actually remove people's status, whether it's TPS or anything else. And so we ask them when they do fill out these forms to make sure that they choose people who either have permanent residence or citizenship.
I mean, is it dozens of people at your church that are doing this?
No, no tenemos un dato.
So we really don't keep data on this. It is many people. We're having 5 to 7 families every week, but we try not to actually kind of keep track of all of this.
Esa es la primera vez, no sé.
I've been in this country for 27 years, and we've never done this before, and I've never seen a situation similar to this in terms of this new administration. Our people are full of fear. They're not sleeping at night. They're moving from place to place every day. The sense of persecution is real, and I might use the word terror. People are feeling terrorized. People are being terrorized.
The priest has already signed on to be the standby guardian for 15 kids. The parents have no one else they trusted. Rivas says if the worst happens and he needs to care for them, he knows it will change his life. But he's following his Christian faith. Treat your neighbor as you would yourself.
KTAR.com.
It's 5:42 in the KTAR Business Center. True Food Kitchen partners with Grammy and award-winning artist SZA to bring back its kale Caesar salad. The Phoenix Business Journal says the Scottsdale-based restaurant's first celeb collab, newly dubbed the SZA Caesar, is giving 20% of the proceeds to charity.
On Wall Street right now, well, we got things moving upward here. The Dow's up 68, S&P is up 22, and the Nasdaq's up 95. For more money news, visit the Business Center at KTAR.com. KTAR News Flash.
And at 5:42, this is what you need to know right now. Two bills competing for votes at the state level. A Republican bill to compel local law enforcement to comply with immigration laws on the federal level, and the other would prohibit local law enforcement from doing so.
There were a dozen inmate overdoses in Maricopa County jails over the past week, including a woman who smuggled drugs in her body over Valentine's Day. The sheriff, Jerry Sheridan, says the ODs are a result of low staffing levels, not contraband smuggled in by detention officers.
Questions swirling over who actually runs Doge. In a new court filing, the White House clarifies that Elon Musk is not the administrator, but did not say who is. A judge ruled today whether to block Doge from, a judge may rule today, I should say, whether to block Doge from firing government employees and accessing data from certain departments. All of our top stories 15 minutes away. For more news, KTAR.com and the KTAR News app.
And here's John Roller live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. As we get a little closer to 6 o'clock, that means more folks are starting to roll down the highway. I am seeing a little slowing now starting to build on the southbound I-17 northern. Is your point A for your slowing, and that'll stay with you all the way down just past Indian School Road. And then you're going to go into the stack, also south of the stack, light slowing through the Durango curve over to about 7th Street. Then you are good to go. Eastbound I-10, very normal this time of morning. Your point A is Dysart Road, just a little heavier at the 101 Alpria transition. Right now, about 14 minutes on your ride in, and the surface streets still are quiet. John Roller, KTAR News.
All right, weather is brought to you by Howard Air. Weather replace or repair, call Howard Air. And boy, have we got a humdinger of weather for you.
Yeah, because with Arizona having such a warm and dry winter, if we have found ourselves, it's been a lot of us wondering if northern and eastern Arizona snowpack are going to be up to snuff and fill up lakes that store the valley's water. SRP is reporting that the Salt River is running at 130 cubic feet per second. That is about 20% of the average for this time of year.
Boy, that seems low. And what's this we hear about us possibly hitting 90 degrees in the valley before February is over? Oh, no, that's nonsense. Let's talk to Arizona State climatologist Dr. Erin N. Sappel, who's joining us now on Arizona's Morning News. Dr. Sappel, is this one of the most unusual Arizona winters we've experienced? And are things bad enough that we might see water rationing?
Well, what we're seeing is absolutely a very warm and dry winter so far. When we're looking at that precipitation and those temperatures, it really plays a role in our water supply. And we need that snowpack to help with our water supply. Fortunately, we've got a lot of good folks that manage that water, but we don't like to see these really warm and dry winters.
Yeah, so could we actually be talking about water rationing? Like we've heard of places like Denver and Vegas, they're water rationing at a time when We here sitting in the middle of a desert don't water ration because of those SRP lakes and whatnot. But could that be coming our way soon?
Right, we do have a lot of good folks, like I mentioned, but I do think it's important for everyone to pay attention to their own water usage. Absolutely. I remember I grew up here in Arizona in the 1970s watching those commercials on the cartoons on Saturday telling us not to let our water run. And I think that's a good idea. Just use a limited amount of water, whatever you need. Be in touch with what you're doing with your water supply.
How far behind are we on average rain and snowfall?
That's a great question because we are very dry so far this winter. We look at our winter precipitation from December to January. Those are a little bit usually more wet than we're seeing right now. And in fact, we're looking at January, December, this past January, December, the driest on record for the state. So that doesn't bode well for our water supply. We can still get precipitation. We can still get it coming in March. Last April we had some snow, but it's not likely going to happen as much as we need it to.
We are talking with Dr. Erin Ann Saffel, who is the Arizona State climatologist, about our highly unusual, very warm, very dry winter that we're having here. Does this suggest, Dr. Saffel, that we are going to get a certain type of summer now? Will it be hotter or cooler, or let's be honest, can our summers get any hotter?
That's a great question because really we have those two wet seasons. We have winter, we have summer, and they're kind of separate from each other. One doesn't necessarily control the other one. And, we just came through two very dry summers. And statistically, we don't usually have 3 dry summers in a row. My fingers are crossed that we're going to have a normal monsoon season, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, now let's talk about these temperatures because, we're looking at upper 70s up to 80 by Thursday. It's February. Are we going to hit 90 at some point before this month is over? Because I can't handle it.
Right, I know. As a climatologist, here's how I think of things. If it's happened once before, it can happen again. And so when we look at the earliest 90 degrees that Phoenix ever reached, it was February 17th of 2016. So at least we haven't reached that 90 degrees yet. The hottest February temp we ever had was 92 degrees, and that was in 1986.
All right. Thanks so much, Dr. Erin Ann Saffel, there, Arizona State climatologist. I think it's
Please.
Christmas songs right now. I felt good that she, like me, grew up here in Arizona, and I remember seeing those public service announcements, and I kind of feel like I'm being a public service announcement because I don't really think of myself as an environmentalist, but I'm still willing to right out the bathroom door. Hey, get out of that shower! We live in a desert, kids. Ridiculous.
I have to say that to myself, unfortunately, and I don't listen.
You don't listen to yourself.
They don't listen to me. I know. Coming up in just moments, FAA workers fired and questions about air safety as a result.
Right now, here is John Roller in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, we're holding steady, guys. Things looking good if you're just heading out the door and rolling down the highway. Not too much to slow you down. Pretty normal slowing right now. If you're coming in eastbound I-10, your point A is Kaiser.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go right now. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to hug your loved ones, and let's make it a good day. Talk to you later.